welcome to another episode of the Skin and Soul podcast. I'm your host, Emily Fouts, and in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about chemical peels. So I'm going to be giving you guys my protocols for chemical peels, what types of chemical peels I use on specific Fitzpatricks, and what the prep is like for the chemical peel process. Okay, so chemical peels. They can be scary for new estheticians. If you don't use chemical peels regularly, they can be very intimidating. It took me a couple years until I was actually confident with using chemical peels because they were so intimidating to me. My very first experience with a chemical peel was through Image Skincare. And Image Skincare is a good line, but their chemical peels are known to be very cushy. So I never had any great success with their peels personally. I actually only used one of them, so I'm sure that if you use Image Skincare, you will probably have different results than I did. And I was a baby esthetician, and I've honestly... the person that I did chemical peels on, she only got 2 of them and she wasn't consistent with it, and she probably wasn't using good home care. Like I said, I was a baby esthetician. I wasn't ready for it. But now that I've been an esthetician for quite a while, my love for chemical peels has really blossomed. They are one of my favorite things to do because they make such a difference. It affects your skin on a cellular level. Chemical peels and microneedling are 2 of my favorite things to do because they are so effective and they produce such a great result. So, I've gained a lot of knowledge at this point, and I want to share it with you guys. The way that I do my chemical peel process is I don't offer it as a service for anyone to book. I offer a chemical peel consult as a bookable option. And the reason for that is because no one should be able to book a chemical peel at their own discretion. They need to come in with me. We need to do a consult to figure out kind of what the process is going to look like for them, kind of give them a roundabout idea of how many treatments they're going to need, and really look at their skin and determine if they are able to forego the process. So the process starts out, this is for everyone actually, but even more so on melanated skin, so Fitzpatrick's like 4 and above. It's very important that you are using, I've said it wrong for so long. I used to call it a tyranase inhibitor, but I actually recently found out it's pronounced tyrosinase. So it's very important that you're using a tyrosinase inhibitor. So this is going to inhibit the tyrosinase from producing, which produces melanin. It's going to prevent from hyperpigmentation from forming. And then also you need to be using an alpha hydroxy acid or a retinol. My preference is a retinol. So you're going to be using both of those products 4 to 6 weeks before you get the chemical peel done. And then, of course, before the actual chemical peel, you want to discontinue any retinol or alpha hydroxy acid a week prior. This is my personal protocol, a week prior to the treatment. So this is going to make sure that their skin isn't overly exfoliated, because you don't want to do a chemical peel on someone that's like used retinol the night before. 100% not. But they need to be using a retinol or an alpha hydroxy acid prior to that, so that their skin kind of gets familiar with that skin cell renewal rate. And so I will not do a blind peel on anyone. No one should be doing blind peels ever. And if you're going to someone that's like, yeah, let's do a chemical peel right now, like, you need to run because they don't know what they're doing. So you definitely need to make sure that your skin is prepped. So I require people to do chemical peel consults. If they do not have these products at home to use, then they will purchase them through me, and they will do that home care 4 to 6 weeks before the treatment. And then we will book the chemical peels out Ideally, personally, I like to book them out like 4 weeks apart from each other. I don't like to have them spaced too far apart because, in my opinion, my approach to chemical peels is that you really need to keep that skin cell renewal rate at a constant, you need to be constant and consistent with it, because that's how you're going to get the best lift of any hyperpigmentation and the best response from your skin cells. So if there's too much rest in between them, it's going to have like a little bit of a less effective result. So I highly always recommend that my clients pre-book it out that way. So they pre-book it like 4 to 6 weeks apart from each other. And with lower Fitzpatrick's and higher Fitzpatrick's, there is a kind of a little bit of a difference between what ingredients are safer to use and your approach. So with melanated skin, so like if it's Fitzpatrick 4 and above, you really want to, and I actually do this with everyone, I start out slow and then I build up to a higher peel. I will never ever go straight away with the TCA. So TCA and Jessner, I wouldn't personally never use Jessner on a high Fitzpatrick level skin. I will use a TCA as long as it's not above like 10%. That's my personal preference. So, and I would not use a high level alpha hydroxy acid or a high level TCA or a high level vitamin A on someone with higher than a Fitzpatrick type 4. I would start out with a lower level peel. Lactic acid is wonderful for hyperpigmentation. Obviously, it's alpha hydroxy acid. It is great for melanated skin. So I really love to use a lactic acid peel. That is what I start with. So we'll do like probably 2 of those, and then we will build up to a higher peel. So the one that I personally love to use is the Lyra Clinical Lactic Clear Definer. It is a mid-level, softer peel. You don't get true peeling from it, you get flaking, but it really is a wonderful peel. I've used it on myself. I've done 2 of them, and it just after 2, and I'm a Fitzpatrick level 3. After 2, it lightened my hyperpigmentation up enough to a comfortable level, but I am going to continue to do a couple more. But that is the peel that I like to use as my entry peel for melanated skin. So once I bump it up higher, the peel that I like to use is the Glymed Plus. If any of you don't know, I use Lyra Clinical and Glymed Plus in my treatment room. I like to use as my high level peel the Glymed Plus. I think it's called the Vitamin A Professional Power Peel. And so it has 10% glycolic acid, 10% TCA, and then it has vitamin A in it. So retinol. It has those 3 powerful ingredients, and you do get a really nice peeling from that, and potentially even frosting. And frosting is okay. It can be scary, but as long as the skin is prepped and you are keeping an eye out for erythema, you're keeping an eye out for the frosting. Frosting is a clinical endpoint. That just means that you're going to peel really great in that area, and you need to be gentle with that skin post-care. Definitely, you need to have post-care instructions for any clients that are getting chemical peels from you. Ideally, you would like to have a aftercare kit. So I like the little samples that many lines will have, and I can make like a little goodie bag for them to take home. Also, though, if someone is receiving chemical peels from me, they are already on good home care, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll have gentle enough home care to use post-peel. So I think it's really great to be able to have those little post-peel goodie bags, to have those soothing ingredients, soothing moisturizers without any alpha hydroxy acids and things like that. Aquaphor is also something else that I like to use post-peel. Not in a treatment room, but as a recommendation when they get home, as an occlusive barrier, because your skin can feel very tingly. It can feel, very dry. And so using an occlusive barrier is really nice, and that's one that I personally like to recommend, but I would never include that in my little aftercare kit, and it wouldn't actually be necessary if you had like a nice balm. I know the Glymed Plus CBD, I think it's called the CBD Power Balm. That is really nice, and that would be a magnificent ingredient to include in any post-care chemical peel kit. So yeah, if you aren't offering chemical peels at the moment, just know that post-care, really you're safe to resume your normal skincare routine after your skin has calmed down. And so the best way to know when their skin is healed is when it feels healed. And so that's really what I tell my clients. I tell them, once you feel like the activity has gone down, then you can resume. It's usually like it depends on the type of peel too, but it can be like 3 to 7 days post peel. And so even with a cleanser, after you have a chemical peel, if you have a cleanser that has acids in it, you're not going to be able to use that. So you have to use a gentle cleanser, a really hydrating moisturizer, a hydrating serum, and you want to continue to use your tyrosinase inhibitor to make sure that no hyperpigmentation will come up, because your skin is very susceptible to that. So that's, of course, why we say do not go outside, wear a hat after a chemical peel, make sure that you're wearing your SPF, everything, because your skin is so susceptible to hyperpigmentation after receiving a chemical peel, because we're peeling it off and we're revealing new baby skin. So along with having a gentle approach to your skincare as it's healing, you want to make sure that you're limiting your exposure to the sun. But if it's light, then the sun rays are affecting you, so you want to make sure that you're reapplying your SPF every 2 hours. Even if you're like in the car, I personally wear a sun hat when I'm driving my car after I have a chemical peel. I don't care if people are looking at me crazy. If it's like October and I'm wearing like a wide brim sun hat in my car, I don't want hyperpigmentation. And so it's very important to me that I give detailed instructions. Really the best way to do that is to give your clients a printout so that they can refer to that, because a lot of the times you can go on a spiel, you can give them everything, but then so much knowledge, they're going to forget it. So it really is best to have those post-care instructions written out on something that they can take home. And I don't know if I've already posted this or not. Probably, I might have. I don't know. I don't know my timeline, but I do have an IGTV video that is either posted now or will be posted soon of me doing a chemical peel, and you can see me do it in real time. And I'm basically talking about a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about here, but I am talking about my client-specific care. She will be a Fitzpatrick 5. And so we'll be doing a chemical peel series on her that I'm going to be documenting, and I'm going to let you guys see my process in real time. And so that's going to be fun. If you want to, you can look over on my Instagram, Emily the LE, and you can see that video. So if you guys made it this far, thank you so much for listening to my chemical peel episode. I hope that maybe someone learned something new, or maybe you got some cool tips that you might want to include to your process of your chemical peels. So I will see you guys next Monday, 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time for another episode.